Hi, this is Kwavi. Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. And I have a fabulous guest. Her name is Lisa Burns. Yay!
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So Lisa, you know this, and this is the question I always ask is, how old are you?
I am 56. I'll be
Yes.
57 very soon.
Yay! And I met Lisa on TikTok. And so I want to share with all of you, if you think TikTok is just for the youngsters, listen, that is not true. There are lots of us in our 50s, 60s, 70s having a lot of fun on TikTok. So I recommend you go over there and hang out. So I'm going to be talking to Lisa about just life in general. The first question I have for you is this whole 50 thing, like in the beginning, where you like excited about it? You're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Or you're like, whoa, this is not happening to me. So tell me your experience.
No, I wasn't dreading it. Didn't know what to expect. Very busy raising kids. Focused more on them. Could have cared less. And about everything, about my body shape, about everything. Just I put 100% into my kids. So I think I didn't get to enjoy it the way I should have, maybe. But then, yeah, it really didn't bother me too much, but then I started struggling and I came fighting. And then about halfway through, I realized, wow, this is awesome.
Yes. What changed for you that you now started to appreciate and say, oh yeah, this is awesome? Because I know there's some people listening that are struggling.
Sure. I think we all are in a certain way. It's been about 2.5 years ago, I broke my back. And in the interim of that, I was in, I want to call it a rehab, or, it was a nursing home. Let's be honest. I was the youngest one there, but it was a nursing home. And actually, that's not true. There's someone that had been in a motorcycle accident that was a huge inspiration to me. 35-year-old. And so him and I kind of got to talking, and he just had such a good spirit. And I thought, I'm sitting here feeling sorry for myself. And this guy, he's at the prime of his life, and I'm thinking, shut up and get over it. Let's do something about this. And they have something called a player. It's like where the nurses and doctors and everybody come in and plan your goals of what you want to do. And at that point, I didn't get out of the bed for like 4 days. And the room, they messed up our rooms. And I was sharing a room with an elderly woman, just frail as can be and hateful. But but she gave me many laughs. And she got up one day, and they had told her she couldn't walk. She'd never walk again. And she got so mad. And I remember my whole family, because we kind of come like the mafia, and like where normally just someone's husband would come. It was my son and his baby and my daughter and it was just the whole room was packed full of my family. And so after they all left, this lady got up and walked, and I started thinking, it made me mad. It made me mad. I was so happy for her, but I'm thinking, why weren't you doing that 2 weeks ago or a week ago? So then that gave me the inspiration I called the physical therapist down, and she goes, are you sure? And I said, yeah. And from that day on, I've never stopped. Wow. And then I got to a point where I was doing great. Got rid of any kind of walker, anything I needed. And I got an infection from my surgery in my back.
Oh no.
And they first told me that I probably would never walk. Wow. Then about halfway through the hospital stay, they said, we're just preparing you, which is something legally they have to do.
Okay, wait. Okay, can we just, go back a little bit. Okay, so when they told you couldn't walk, right after that, they put you in hospice?
Oh, no.
Oh, what did you say?
I went back in the hospital.
Hospital. Okay. I was a bit worried. Okay.
No, I never made it that far.
Okay. I was like, whoa. Okay.
No. They went ahead, and the hospital told me that, because legally I think they have to, and that there would be a good chance I wasn't going to be coming home. And that night I laid in bed, and all I could think of was my grandkids. I told you I was a crier. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so. No, listen, you don't have to apologize for your emotions. Not on this show anyway.
And I just remember thinking, I'll be damned. I'm not going out like this. I am the author of my own autobiography, and I'm writing this ending, not you.
Yeah.
And so I just a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, great support from family. And
Yeah.
I use a cane, but that thing's going to be going pretty soon too.
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
I'll ever run again, but I mean, I'm walking on the treadmill for
Yeah.
an hour a day, you know, between, I have to break it up into two half an hours, but
Nice.
yeah, so I mean, it's just that will to, I mean, I own my own destiny and I have to make it
Yeah.
happen for me. I've been married 37 years, which you had
Wow.
asked me about
Yes.
that.
Yes.
And no, they haven't all been easy. Got married very young,
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't all been easy. They've actually been really rough up until just not too long ago. And but I thought I fought too hard for my family to let
Yeah.
anything come between us and my
Yeah.
family. And so it's just that willing to fight and just that willing to
Yeah.
be at my age, knowing that I'm young. I'm young.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
50, almost 60. Well, not almost 60. I'm pushing it a little bit, but there's nothing wrong with that either because I'm going
I
to be
know.
right in the corner.
We're ready for that too.
I'm ready. Bring it, because you know what? That's just it. There may be some more challenges coming my way,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll know how to face them.
Yeah.
With the best I can. The best I can.
Yeah. I mean, I love that story of, things coming your way and you being the author of your own story. Like you get to decide that because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what kind of circumstances we're going to face, but we can decide how we're going to react to them. I mean,
Absolutely.
and that's what you did.
Well, and I'm sure I would think there's be a lot of moms on here that went through the same thing, having kids, being at the gym one weekend, the softball field the next, lacrosse field, constantly just pouring everything you've had into them. And you just, well, worth it. Well, I mean, I wouldn't change my life for anything, but I never took the time to try to figure my life out. I was trying to, not keep them out of trouble. I didn't have to do anything, but they were real good kids by the grace of God. My son did some stupid stuff, but I think boys do. But that's like a 6-hour show. But no, it's been great. And then kind of going back, and I'm sorry, I kind of all over the map. I'm like that.
This is fine. This is what we do here. We're good.
But I absolutely, everyone can tell I don't have something in front of me reading. I'm in my car traveling back from Baltimore from a conference. And I'm not a speaker. I'm not even going to say, I used to say I'm just a wife of a man who owns his business, but I'm not, because right now I'm co-owner. And during all this time and being on my back, and my biggest goal is helping people. I always have been like that. And when just seeing some of these elderly people were losing, some of these people in their 80s, 90s, losing their homes to pay for their for the stay to stay alive, basically.
Wow, for their health. Wow.
And ones that couldn't qualify for Medicare because they had too much money, so they had to sell it was just, I just sat back and I put so much in, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to do something. I'm going to make a change. And so I went and got my insurance life, health, and annuities license. Normal people.
Okay, so how old were you when you did this?
I took the test. I've been licensed for maybe 2 months. Yeah.
Love it.
Did it. Yeah. I kind of had to wait until I was off some of the medication I was on I tried it, and I was studying, and I just couldn't, I wasn't in my right mind spot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be in a mind frame and a mindset to do what you really want to do.
Yeah.
And at first I was doing it for my husband.
Yes.
Before all this happened, years ago, he asked me about it. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sell insurance. I don't, but then, he got on with this company that just their culture started. I just was like sitting at some of the meetings, and I was like, this is not true. And then just the way they help families with mortgages and stuff. And I thought, and my husband's the same as I am. He's much of a giver. Like, he loves helping people. And and a little weird fact about us is he's 6'11" and a half, and I'm 5 foot. So if you're that, you want to talk about, the differences here. And so we just, I kind of was starting to get into it, and then I thought no, and then I got sick and was in the hospital, and that was when seeing all that sadness. And this is a God truthful story. I was sitting in the front because I could not sit in my room. I would make myself walk out to the lobby every day and just sit and watch people and learn. I learned so much by hearing people, and I knew a lot of the people that worked at this place anyway. And so it's like I was hanging out with friends all day. They came and repossessed a 92-year-old man's electric wheelchair.
Oh, wow.
And I thought to myself, how much does he owe on it? Because I'm very blessed. My husband and I are we're at a point where we could help.
Yeah, you could help. Yeah.
And I just thought that in we shouldn't have older people worrying about their
not a 92-year-old
bathroom, or we've helped. Same thing with Medicare, groceries and stuff. If I don't know. I just really have been like, there was a lady in front of us at Walmart, and she was like $12 and something change for her, and her bill was like 300 and something, and she got a little bit of food, but it was all medicine.
Right.
And I thought to myself, so when the lady said, you'll have to put something back, and the lady was hateful, she put back her Dr. Pepper, and I thought to myself, this woman's in her 80s or 90s. She damn well deserves a Dr. Pepper every day if she wants one. She could have helped raise your kids or my kids, somebody. And so that got me really into it. And so then I thought, I'm going into Medicare and Medicaid. I want to be able to help somebody. So I signed on with Symmetry, and here we are. And I've just been blown away.
Okay, so I have a question for you, because I've been listening a lot to like the Medicare and all of that. So tell me though, because you probably know a lot about this.
No, I don't. No, I'm telling you, go ahead. I'll try, because I did have it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I've been hearing stories that people should never give up their Medicare for a Medicare Advantage plan. Is that true?
I don't think you should give it up. I think it's an addition.
Oh, you can have
a supplement program. Yeah.
Okay.
That would be what I would think. I would have to talk to my husband more on that one. But just from what I've learned and from what I've heard, and I could be completely wrong, so nobody go out there and do something crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and my emails on there, and we'd be happy to answer any question. And when because it's very sad. It's very sad.
And you know what? We probably should do another show just on that. So we'll kind of.
I'll be more than happy, and I'd have more answers for you.
Because I think that a lot of people are struggling with trying to figure out what, it's like what to do. And like you said, sometimes they end up being worse off because you have these people pushing these different insurance plans at them, and they don't even know what it's all about. They're like, oh, this is a better option. And so if we can inform ourselves and inform more people about the better options for themselves, I think that will be helpful.
Oh, it is. It's most definitely. And we've talked to so many people that don't even know the lady or the gentleman's name that sold them the policy.
Yeah.
And because they did it over the phone, it was something that they thought they needed. And then we'd look into it, and they were on a wrong policy altogether.
Exactly.
And we were able to help somebody get $5,000 worth of dental work that had been denied before. It just depends the plan that you can get on.
Yeah.
And that's when I signed on with Symmetry, and they work with 40 different companies. So between 40 of them, you can find somebody to help somebody. Yeah. With whatever situation may come up. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely need to do that, because I think healthcare is, and you see it all the time. People go bankrupt just because of healthcare issues.
Yeah. Yes. And older,
especially older people,
their family homes, that they raised their kids in, that they always dreamed about giving to their children. I would sit and listen to some of these families in the nursing home, and I used to just sit there and cry because it's just unfair. It's just unfair.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the answer is either, because my physical therapist, her parents live in Nova Scotia, and her dad is the doctor that built the hospital he was in. They severe dementia, so you have to be put on a waiting list there to get into a nursing home, and you have to take the one that comes up. So they weren't able to get their mom and dad in the same nursing home. And it's just been, and she said atrocious. And she goes, I would have, and they can afford, he was a doctor and she was a
Yeah.
psychiatric nurse. And
Yeah.
but here
Just
they're
the way
stuck
the
in a
system
situation.
works.
That's the way
Yeah.
the system went. So no, but yeah, but I guess all that was just saying it's never too late to do
No,
something.
I love that you just did that 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I did. And I'll tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, taking that test is no joke. It's not hard, but it's not, I mean, my son did it and he literally went in, came out with like an 87 or something. You only have to have 70 to pass.
right.
And I was just like, I was so mad, but happy for him.
Yeah.
And it just was kind of funny because I think that was on my 5th try and the old man and woman that own the company that you go in to take the test or own the building or whatever, franchise. When the green light came up, I came out and him and his wife, they were probably in their 70s.
Yeah.
And they got up and just clapped and clapped.
Oh.
And I was like, I got like a 72. It's like,
listen, you did it.
But I did it.
I love that. And I'm glad you didn't give up. I mean, that's the moral of the story. You didn't give up. Like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it work. And you did,
And when I first broke my back and I started walking again, I've got one little tattoo I got in Hawaii on my ankle, about the size of a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that was just an impulse thing, because my husband thought I was going in to get him ice cream. And he fell asleep in the car waiting for me.
And you came out with a tattoo?
And I had a tattoo. He goes, "Where's my ice cream?" I said, "Well, I got to show you something." And he was, so anyway, but everywhere we've traveled, I've wanted to get one, but I've been too scared after that.
And you did it.
I did it, but now I'm gonna get, and I'm not like a tattoo kind of person. That that's a bad thing.
Yeah,
they're beautiful. I'm just a chicken. I'm just a big chicken.
Yeah, me too. I can't do it. You know why? I can't, because I know it's painful, and that's I'm out. Just the pain.
But I'm getting one right here on my arm, and it's gonna say "Never Give Up," and a yellow rose for my mother who passed away very young.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
And I had the appointment, then I canceled it. Then I had it, but I go in November and it's going to be done. And if I'm still coming to see you, it's going to be on there, girlfriend.
Yay! Love it. Love it. Love it.
One more little thing that's going to be, that I want to be able to do.
Yeah, exactly. And I think all of us should write lists of different things that we want to do and go ahead with it. Not everyone's going to be on board, but guess what? That's okay.
No, you have to have goals every day. I mean, I learned a long time ago, just make your bed. Just by making your bed in the morning, your goal, you finished one goal before you even put your feet barely on the bed. And so if you can finish one goal, you can finish two. And certainly if you can finish 2 goals, and then working out, I am 100 times feel better if I stretch and work out in the morning. I don't lift weights. I'm not some power lifter or
well, you're doing something.
Oh no. Well, I used to be a runner, and so I was very down on myself because I get very frustrated because I don't do what I used to do, and it's very hard. And but you know what, I'm doing more than I was, and tomorrow I'll be doing more than I did today.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how you have to think about it. So let's talk a little bit about this whole aging process. So how was menopause for you? Was it easy, a breeze, challenging?
Yeah, I think it was pretty easy. Well, everyone around me would probably say something different, but I thought it was a very delight to be around. No, I mean, I didn't. It just kind of happened. My mom had already passed, so I couldn't ask her questions about it. Growing up in the lifestyle we grew up, you didn't talk about stuff like that.
No.
So you didn't share your family history. Your parents didn't want you to know, So I didn't know anything. And I mean, my girls know everything now.
That's good.
Yeah, I started my last period from the day, I mean, everything, because they need to know. I was lost. And but nothing, just, I mean, emotionally, I think I could tell that there was something different. But other than that, or like mentally, definitely off a little bit. And but other than that, I was blessed because I didn't have hot flashes. I'm always cold, and so I didn't have hot flashes that I know of. And but everyone's like,
Listen,
oh,
let me tell you, you would know if you had hot flashes. I'm going to tell you, you would know if you have hot flashes for real. It's like, yeah. So just say it. So you probably didn't have any. Nice.
So no, I don't think I'm very blessed with that part of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we talked a little bit about hair just before we started recording. So tell the viewers a little bit about your journey with hair. What happened?
Well, I've always been a little bit alternate, kind of funky haircuts, and I dress kind of hippie-ish. You know, I'm just a little different. I'm a true believer in different beads. Like, you know, they just mean something to me, the happiness, the health, the prosperity, I mean, all that stuff. And so I decided I was going in, like, it seemed like more and more, but I think it got down to every 3 weeks I was going in to get my hair colored. And I thought, this is just a pain. And I thought, why am I doing this? Spending $85, if not more, a pop. And it was, I don't know, it just was getting so tiring. And my hair was starting to look like hay. And I thought, I just got to stop this. And so my hairdresser, she's great. I love her. She's from Nigeria.
Oh, that's where my dad's from. Interesting.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, my dad's Nigerian.
Oh, funny. We laughed so hard, and she's the one that talked me into like just going gray slowly. So we started to do it, and then the next time, like a month later, we did a little bit more. Then my hair started coming in, and it was coming in brown. It came in gray first, and that's why I started dyeing it, and then I get it dyed, and now it's coming in brown.
Oh,
so I don't know what the heck I'm gonna do, but everyone loves my hair color, and it's kind of different. So I think I'll keep it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about being over 50. And I tell people this, like, you get to do this on your own terms. If you want to dye your hair, go for it. If you want to leave it out, that's fine. There is not one size fits all. I think society wants to kind of share that with us. Oh, you're supposed to do this. You're not supposed to wear this. You're supposed to not have long hair. You can't wear this type of makeup. Like, really, we get to decide.
Yeah, that's true. We there was a girl at in Philly last weekend. We were in Philly, and she had on literally like golden slippers with all these little beads on it and stuff. And I said, Winnie, your shoes are beautiful. She said, I have a Cinderella story, and these are my Cinderella shoes. And then she told me about this family she was able to help that just would break anybody's heart. If it would break your heart, you don't have one. And then her daughter got into the college she wanted, and she's a single mom, and she's had especially a rough time with racism and stuff with her daughters, because they live in a very prominent, nice white neighborhood, and her one daughter was getting really bullied, and she was able to get together and pull the neighborhood together, and it was just a really cool story. So she wore her Cinderella shoes, and it gave me chills just telling you, because you had to have been there. She's a phenomenal speaker anyway.
Wow.
And she goes, so ladies, put on that lipstick and put on your
Cinderella shoes.
I thought about it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So I wore my shoes today that come up over my knee.
Yes, exactly. Of course. Why not? Like, really. And this is for the women listening, because I sometimes people say, well, you can do that. I'm like, no, anyone can do this. Like, seriously, like, you could do whatever. Really, you can, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And most of the time as women, when we do things, we're not really doing it out of spite for the most part. We're just doing it because it's something we love, but then we're concerned about what other people will say or think,
I learned a long time ago, it's none of my business what you think about me.
Yes, I agree totally. Like,
I mean, it's none of my business. You can like me, you can dislike me, you can love me, you can hate me, whatever. It's not on me, it's on you. I look back at all the things I've learned over the years, and just more since I've turned 50. Patience. Well, when you have grandkids, you kind of have to, it has to come in. Patience but definitely perseverance for me. There's not going to be anything that's going to stop me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I listen to motivational, and I'm from where all my kids played sports. I was, my husband played basketball at Arizona State. So our whole family's just,
yes,
been big into sports. I just tend to like the sports, motivation speeches. But in the morning, you don't have to buy books, because I've had people say, I can't afford all those books. You don't have to buy them. Google motivational
I'm
speech.
telling you, YouTube has it all.
Yep. You just Google it and just say, regarding, or, pertaining to sports, or pertaining to health, or pertaining to.
Yes.
Mine was, I listened to being confident. And because my husband looked over, he goes, I don't know if you need to listen to this one. And I go, we all need to listen to this one. So, because I think you can think everybody's insecure about something.
Oh yeah, please. Oh yeah.
My hair keeps falling in my face. I'm insecure. It's driving me flipping nuts.
Oh, listen, we're insecure about different things. And sometimes the things people are insecure about, you're like, really? That's beautiful on you, but you don't see it that way.
Yeah. Yes. I agree with you there. But now there's just nothing that I think, if I don't want to do it, I won't, but there's nothing that I can think of that I'm not achieving. Mm-hmm. It may take me a little bit longer. Now, the internet, the technology, someone said yesterday at the conference, I'm a little, and she goes, let me put this, like, technology. I'm like an Amish person using technology, and everyone just busted laughing. And I thought, that's me right there. That's me. Because, it takes you, I didn't grow up like that, Yeah. I was in school. You didn't have a computer. Now my grandson, who's kindergarten, has a laptop they give him. I'm like, dear God, you kidding me? And my 10-month-old granddaughter, if you hold the phone, she starts swiping. And I'm thinking, oh, this is sick. So there's negative parts of all that too.
Yeah.
But no, it's been a journey. It's been TikTok. I don't really watch a lot of some of the stuff. It has to really captivate me. It has to grab me. And but I think a lot of older people are getting on. My kids would probably wish I wouldn't. I remember when Facebook first came out, I was all into that. And I guess I said something or put a picture or something. I can't remember. And they were like, Mom, please get off Facebook, please. All right. Because I didn't know what I was doing anyway. So, I wouldn't want to say something to offend somebody when I didn't mean to.
But you probably won't do that. But kids will do that. My kids did the same thing for me when I first got on TikTok. They were like, Mom, I remember 2019, I was going to go on TikTok like around the holidays. And my kids were like, Mom, nope, that is not for you. I'm like, okay. And I listened to them because I have 2 boys. And then in March, just before, the pandemic hit, I was like, I'm going on TikTok. And they're like, no, Mom, we told you it's not for you. And you know what I said? I don't care. I'm going on anyway. And I had a blast. And it's so interesting. My younger son said, oh, Mom, okay, you're on now. I'll dance with you. So he actually danced with me a few times. And then my oldest son said, Mom, if you get 10,000 followers, I'll dance with you. I did get 10,000 followers and he had to dance. And you could see the expression on his face. He was reluctant, but he did it. And he was like, Mom,
And now, you know what? He may have been saying that, but I bet you he was really proud.
I'm sure. You know how kids, especially teenage boys, they're like, okay. But secretly, they're like, oh, my mom did that. So, yeah.
Well, I know when I passed, I couldn't wait. My son too, but I couldn't wait to tell my daughters, because I have a daughter who graduated law school and brilliant, is killing it. And she works for nonprofit stuff, but she's, achieved so much. My other daughter is, a stay-at-home mom that's achieved a whole lot too. And she's got a beautiful life. But I wanted to show them, look, and when things get going bad, and things will, your life's not going to be perfect. That's just the bottom line. You're going to have a crappy day one day, and you might just go in your room, sit down, take a nap or whatever, and then wake up and just say, okay. And it may be something my husband said. We have an English bulldog. It's usually her fault. And when I have to go in the other room, I have to go in the other room because she's driving me crazy. But sometimes you just have to take that moment. But when I told my girls, I wanted them to know that no matter what comes down, you can get through it. Meaning divorce, meaning a loss of a child, whatever
it is.
Do it as a family.
Yeah. So, I love that you're showing them an example of what's possible too, because they're seeing you firsthand. Like, wow, look at what my mom went through and look at what she's doing today. She did all that. And now she has this insurance license to do all this other,
my oldest daughter went and got hers. And now it's like a little
Look at that.
family thing.
Oh,
Well, this is a legacy we want to leave to our children and our
oh
grandchildren.
my word. Love it.
So I want to, and we didn't say they have, and we go, if you want to do it, go do it. And I
Yeah.
think, you say this when your kids are little, practice what you preach kind of thing, show them what you want them,
Yes.
do what you want them to do. And so, unfortunately, some bad habits might come in to play, and you can see that with your kids. But in general, I think that main thing was just finishing it up, and I wanted them to know that we can get through anything, and that this will, just as strong
Yes.
women. I just love to
Oh,
talk
I
to
love that.
to hear
Oh,
her, and she hasn't done much with it because she's still got a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old, and they're really busy.
yeah. Yeah.
So, but
She
other than
has
that,
it.
yeah, but she's got it, and I'm proud of her. Again, it took her 2 tries.
Yeah.
And so,
She did it.
and here I am. So when I finally did pass, it was such a thing. We all had a big family dinner because it was almost
Oh, see, okay. So
finally,
listen,
Mom
listen,
got it done.
I love this. You know what? Because I'm all about celebrating whatever it is. We set that's what we do in my family. We celebrate everything. I think that's important. So I'm glad you did that.
And
Yay.
it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be
No,
anything fancy.
it
It doesn't have
doesn't.
to be, it could be a markdown cake from Kroger's, or
Whatever it
just
is.
little things. Yeah, like I can't
Yes.
wait to get home because of all the times my 10-month-old granddaughter started walking yesterday, and I was like, that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to get cupcakes and some kind of.
But see, that's it. That's what life is about. Celebrating. There's actually brain science behind it. Like, it's important to celebrate our wins. We don't do that though. We don't do it enough. We're like, oh, doesn't matter. Yes, it does. Do you know how many people don't even that try of thinking it, but don't do it?
Yeah.
So many.
But we beat each other up real fast.
Oh, so quickly.
If we do something wrong, we're the first ones to get on, but then, yeah, that's true. That's true. The celebrating every
celebrate it all. That's my motto. Like, oh, I did that. Oh, I worked out today. Yes. I mean, I celebrate it all. So, but Lisa, I just want to thank you so much for coming and just
I'm privileged.
Sharing your words of wisdom and your experiences, because I know this can help some other women. I know there's someone out there that's listening to this and saying, wow, She did all that. I can do it too. And that's the reason why I do this show.
Don't ever give up. Just don't ever get up. And yes, email me if you want. My email's on there. So anybody.
Yeah, I'll send all that. Yes.
And ask any questions about, about if they need any help at all. With anything really. I mean, but definitely, they may have a grandparent or a mother, that is not quite making it each month. Who's going to live on $6,000 a month? Mm-hmm. And when they're in a home that's costing them, which it's just, sometimes you just got to look. And what we usually do, and what's been very, very successful for us in helping people, is you can go to like food pantries, buy a bunch of stuff from Dollar General or stuff that they don't get at the food pantry. And a lot of these big companies will donate a lot of stuff, like the insurance companies, because they want your business. And so they'll go ahead and bleach, laundry soap, toothpaste. Yeah.
So tell me, so you're saying 6,000. So how much is the nursing home fee? If you said $6,000 a month, is that?
That nursing home fees are anywhere from, they're way up there. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Because and let's just say, well, that's why long-term care is so, because if you're paying on that, at least you have something to.
Correct. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know a whole lot about that, so I'm not even going to speak on it because I don't want to.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot about that. That's a good one to start paying for now, because that can kind of help. Well,
for example, when I broke my back, I was in the ICU for 4 days, maybe. Mm-hmm. It was over $100,000. My bill was. But we had insurance, and by the grace of God, but I can see a family that doesn't, because some families just can't afford it.
Yeah.
They've got small children. They've got, and they should be they should be able to qualify for Medicaid.
Exactly.
And it's just sad. It's just sad. And some of the people that we work with that through Medicare, we can get into Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
And that's such a huge help because they'll be given maybe a food card extra
Right. That they can use. Yeah.
And don't have to pay for it. So,
wow.
It's definitely, if you're into helping people and stuff, and it's such a great, you work from your home. Zoom, since COVID, Zoom has been the majority of our appointments.
Wow.
And some people just still want that face to face.
Face to face. Yeah.
And that's fine. But anything my husband and I send out, we put our picture together on it so that they can put a picture with a letter.
Yeah.
Because that way, like I said, when you call somebody and, well, do you know who sold you that? I don't know. Is it a guy or girl? I mean, they don't know. So we try to really build, just really good relationships with our clients. And that's what's really helped. But I'd be more than happy to talk more about that.
Yeah, we'll definitely, I feel we definitely need to do another show, an episode, on this and just talk about this and we'll kind of talk beforehand and, so I can have questions that you can answer and all that. I think that'd be great. But it's so nice to have you. I'm so glad. Thank you.
I feel privileged to do. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye. If you enjoyed listening to this show, you have to take a look at Flourish, my online global community exclusively for women in their 50s and beyond. We talk about the important issues affecting women in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond in a safe and non-judgmental environment. We also provide the tools and resources to help you create your best life on your own terms. It's never too late and you're not too old. Go to the link below to learn more.